Hi, my name is Tamara Rupert, and thank you so much for viewing my Indiegogo video. For everyone watching in Japan, konnichiwa. Watashi no name wa Tamara Rupato toimasu. Watashi no Indiegogo no video o mite kurasari arigatou gozaimasu. Mazu, watashi ga eigo de o hanashi shimasu. Sono ato ni nihongo de o hanashi shimasu. This project is about one thing: sharing the work of Velina Hasu Houston with the world. If you don't know who Velina Hasu Houston is, and that is fine, because that is exactly why we're doing this. And if you do know her work, then you understand the importance of what we're trying to accomplish. Velina is one of the great American playwrights of our generation. She speaks for folks who are caught between cultures and don't know which box to check when they're filling out their census. White, black, Asian, Hispanic, what about all of the above? If you've ever seen one of her plays, you know how she can move an audience to shatter their preconceptions and stereotypes. We all have them. Velina has profoundly influenced the American theater with seminal plays like Tea, and her work will influence playwrights and forever be a staple of university theater departments. But that is not enough. Her work is visceral. It changes you. It needs to be experienced, and once experienced, it has the power to change the world. The world needs to experience the voice of Velina Hasu Houston, and that is where you come in. We cannot get this off the ground without you. We need your support. We are raising funds to produce this short film written by Velina, and it is her first film. It will demonstrate to the film industry the commercial viability of our endeavor. And we have 2 feature films planned after this that will also spread the word of Velina Hasu Houston to the mainstream. Your money will go towards disseminating a body of work that obliterates the boxes that society and history and culture have created that define us and divide us. If you have the means, we're asking for at least $100 donation today. If you don't feel like you can give that, please give what you can. And if you don't feel like you can give this week, then please tell 5 of your friends to visit the site, and that would just be fantastic. このプロジェクトはVelina Hasu Houstonの作品を手掛けています。フェリーナは私たちの世代の中でとても優れた脚本家の一人です。彼女は日本人とアフリカンアメリカ人のハーフです。彼女は異文化の中に生きる人たちの象徴です。彼女の劇は見れば、あなたの固定観念は見事に打ち砕かれることですよ。私たちは皆固定観念を持っています。彼女の作品はあなたそして世界をも変える力を持っています。彼女の脚本による女の子町についての短編映画を制作するために私たちは資金を集めています。私たちは日本で撮影する予定です。私たちは1万円の寄付を募っています。ご賛同いただきましたら、ご寄付の方お願いします。そうでなければ、私たちのインディゴゴサイトを見てください。いただくように、あなたのお友達5人にいてください。ありがとうございます。
There's no doubt that Velina's voice is singular, for one thing, and really highly valued in the American theater. And of course, it was most seen with like Tea. Tea changed the American theater. Tea changed the American theater in more than one way. It brought people on stage who never made the main stage before in 3-dimensional ways. I think it also was a big breakthrough just for women. There, of course, have been wonderful plays for women, but call it seniority or true sort of mastery, that she's really looking over a life. She's doing what she should do as an artist. She does stand out. This country is not very kind to its artists, but she demands a respect that I know she gets, and that she's really interested in breaking new ground, and she's not afraid of a response. As long as people are listening, that's what she wants. And as long as she can touch somebody in the audience, again, probably someone who feels marginalized, maybe someone who's never seen themselves on stage before, then she knows she's doing her job.
Velina Hasu Houston's plays, our stories are it's epic. The landscape is really wide, and so if you're coming in there with a very narrow view, it's hard to see the picture because her picture is wide. So I think to be able to tap into her stories and to really appreciate her stories, you have to come in, even if you have a narrow mind, you have to come in able to open that and really see what she's trying to say, because there's a lot of things that she's talking about, that she is dealing with, about culture and about race and about, you know, and about age and about men and women, and, you know, just a lot of huge themes that people, it's not just one specific thing that you're dealing with. They're dealing with a big issue, and you have to really be open to that. So I think global audiences actually have a better appreciation of her work, because the audiences from different parts of the world, the stories that Velina is talking about are stories that they are experiencing, and stories that they know is true to them, and you know, it gives a perspective, because Velina Hasu Houston is a writer here in America, you know, and so her point of view, even though it's completely Asian American in many sense, you know, she comes from a point of view of, you know, being here in America. So I think that for global audiences, I think that her stories transcend that, and because it's just very universal. Talk mainly about from a woman's point of view, and there are so few plays that are written with women in them, mostly, and especially with women that are, you know, the heroes and the heroines, and she literally writes plays with, you know, with women, strong women, you know, characters, and she deals with them in a very universal and in beautiful ways.
Called the Fischer Company, and I think Velina had gone to them, you know, for representation and to show her some work, and the person who had been in touch with Velina said, "I want you to meet this wonderful, young," she just got out of school, I think UCLA, just a young person, and I met her and was really quite taken with her. I mean, there's no one else quite like Velina. She's not only striking, she's so smart and so unusual and interesting. So in tea is when I didn't even say one word, but I felt like there was a golden thread connecting us. And it's funny, most actors want a lot of lines. I didn't care. It was just the way she had written it. It was so beautiful. It was my favorite part in the whole play almost. And I always kind of chuckled to myself, because I'm thinking, most actors hate it when you cut some lines. And it's not the lines. She writes so poetically. She writes so beautifully. Just even thinking about tea now, I get very emotional, because I feel so connected. She writes in a very universal way. So that it's, and each of the Japanese women, they're just women, but all, you can relate to it. Anybody, it doesn't matter what your race is, or what kind of person, you're going to relate to that show, you're going to relate to the women. Just tell everyone, it's going to touch your soul. Whatever she writes, I think somehow it goes in and grabs you. And you're going to feel it in the depths of your being.